Hi everyone, I am Emily Wishall. I am a certified Rolfer and embodiment coach at Wishall Wellness Live in Alignment, and this is my weekly Body Love blog. This week's blog is on It Doesn't Have to Be Painful to Be Effective. And I'm going to start with just sharing a little bit about Rolfing because this is like probably the most common concern I get for any client who's interested in the Rolfing Structural Integration hands-on manual therapy work that I do. Historically, that work, and if you're not familiar, still stay tuned because I've got something that maybe you might buy into that belief. But historically, it's often people have heard how painful Rolfing is. And often people are either scared of it, or also if they're not scared of it, they think that they need to be feeling that pain for it to be effective. So what do I mean by like feeling that pain? So say, for example, if you're getting a massage or you're receiving body work, or let's say you're at home and you're foam rolling or you're laying on a lacrosse ball, often the mindset and intention when people are doing that can be like, it's got to be intense. The more intense it is, the more effective. And what I want to share with you today is actually not the case. Meaning if you are activating your nervous system, so say if you're receiving manual work and your body's like tensing up, you're tensing up your muscles, you're holding your breath, or maybe you're just like checking out of your body to like not feel that much sensation. All of those are signs that your nervous system is activated, that it's in that danger response, it's in a more aroused, elevated state, that sympathetic nervous system state. In order for healing to happen, and releasing tension would fall under the category of healing and relaxation, it's not useful, right? We want to be in a more parasympathetic, more in a rest digest system. We want our bodies to be able to be relaxed and receive. Sometimes if you're receiving manual work or if you're laying on a foam roller, lacrosse ball, I'm actually not a fan of lacrosse balls, but like a tennis ball, it might be that like hurt so good kind of sensation, where it's like, well, it like kind of hurts, but it feels good. And that's a time when just check in with your own body. And it's like, as long as your body muscles are relaxed, as long as you're present, breathing easily, those are your three great indicators to continuously just check in. If all of those are fine, then it's like, okay, then that's okay. You know you're past your body's threshold in an area when you are tensing the muscles, holding your breath, or checking out of your body. What that is doing is telling the nervous system to be in a danger response. Those nerves are then sending your brain, my brain, anyway, sending the brain the message of danger, 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 right? So it's going into more high alert, which could either then the brain then decides what message is going to, like what output signal is going to be put out after the message is received in the brain. So the brain could either signal pain, it could signal more tension, right? Like it's going to just continuously build up more of a collagen fibrous fascial network in that area to protect if it thinks it's in danger. So if you're at home watching this, well, one, if you're getting manual work, no, it doesn't have to be painful to be effective. Don't be afraid of Rolfing, but definitely communicate with your practitioner, whoever they are. That's key. But if you're at home and you're doing myofascial self-release techniques, if you're like, and what I mean by that is myofascial self-release techniques. It's either like you're using a foam roller, you're using a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, you're using some sort of contraption to help your body sink and release. And why I mentioned earlier I'm not a fan of lacrosse balls. Lacrosse balls are really hard, they're really rigid. It is challenging for your body to be able to relax to that pushing forceful contact. If, say, for example, if I'm laying on a lacrosse ball like on my back. So that's why I'm more of a fan of a tennis ball. So if you're at home doing that, just use your own body awareness, but use those 3 points, those 3 keys that I suggested, just to continuously check and make sure you're not tensing up elsewhere in your body or the muscle you're trying to relax. It's counterproductive. Just because it's more intense does not mean it's more effective. Make sure you're still able to breathe easier. If you're like, wow, I really have to hold my breath in order to withstand this, I would ease up. I would say that's not actually probably that beneficial for your body in that moment. Or if you're just like checking out of your body, the more awareness you can have as you're doing those things, awareness meaning like Could you connect with, if you're like foam rolling your quad, could you pretend like, can you meet the foam roller with your awareness from the inside of your quad? So you're just starting to enhance own communication within your own system and structure. So that is this week's weekly Body Love blog on It Doesn't Have to Be Painful to Be Effective. Just keep those 3 keys in mind, either if you're receiving manual work or if you're at home doing your own kind of fascial self-release techniques or even stretching, right? Just stay out of that painful range. Sometimes it might be discomfort. Sometimes it might be that like hurt so good kind of feeling, but it's all about what is the rest of your physiological state doing. And those are your indicators if you're going too intense or not. So thanks for tuning in. And if you're a lacrosse ball user, this is my little ploy to buy some tennis balls and try tennis ball instead and just see. You might think it isn't useful because it's not as intense, but just give it a go. Cool. Thanks for tuning in.